Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Thank you so much, Kathy, for those stars. That's so kind of you. Hi, Jean. It's a pleasure. Morning, Mary. Morning, Sue. 20 of you so far. That's lovely to have your company this morning. Let's get a bit of birdsong on then, shall we? It's a rather breezy, overcast day today here in Banbury at the shop. But bear in mind, I am on my own. I have no other staff in today. So if I have a customer, I will have to go and serve. But I know a lot of you don't mind that because it means those of you that are painting along get a chance to catch up. But I hope you're doing all right anyway, and I hope you've had a really good week. And it is so nice that you've decided to spend your Saturday morning with me. It does mean such a lot. And hopefully we can do some nice art together. I'm just trying to catch up on any comments. Hello, Jilly. Hi, Diane. Hi, Sally. Morning, Katya. Thank you so much. And thank you for those of you sending stars. Everything helps. If you don't know how to do that, that's all right. You don't have to. If you wanted to bung a couple of quid my way just to keep us doing these free tutorials and things, just where's my hand there? You can go to PayPal and pay us by PayPal if you wanted to. Again, 32 of you, welcome. Hello. It's not compulsory. Good morning, Valerie. It's not compulsory that you pay. We do have paid classes, but obviously it's nice to have a little bit of appreciation for this, because we've got another free lesson next month actually, and I'm doing a gouache class on Saturday the 21st of August, and that's a fly agaric toadstool, you know, the proper toadstools, the red with the white dots on, and that's in gouache. So we're doing that next month, so you're getting a double whammy on top of our normal monthly free demos. Oh, I don't know. You might have me accidentally on twice, Mary. I've got the colours along top of the screen: cadmium yellow, yellow ochre, ultramarine, cerulean or phthalo blue, cadmium red and burnt sienna. Now I've got them along here in that order. I've got cadmium yellow, yellow ochre, ultramarine. I've gone for phthalo blue. Morning, Trish. Morning, Christine. That's okay. Sit and face the corner for being late. Cadmium red, burnt sienna. Now I had a massive issue, and you may see I've got bits of blue everywhere. Because I'm working on tubes today, because it's a bit easier. As I opened my tube, it exploded. So I've got phthalo blue of all the colours, phthalo blue across my picture. It went all over my board, all over my hand. It's over my laptop, but I've just had to clean off the. Sue, stop it! Stop! No, carry on, please, carry on. Well, you know, we've got to try and keep you all creative. Because our next, so August is a double whammy, isn't there really? Because the 7th of August, I'm showing you how to paint. Good morning, Emma. Oh, good. So the 7th of August, I'm showing you how to paint human eyes in watercolour as our free monthly demo. And then 21st of August, we're doing the fly agaric toadstool in August. Gosh, you know, I'm just so lovely. Hello, Jan. I just thought this was really cool. It's a stock photo. It's a royalty-free stock photo from a company called Pixabay, 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 and they're free for commercial use. Oh, you can just trace your person, Christine, because it's a child. But if you look, his head is the same size as a thumb, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 thumbs long. Morning, Roger. So it's basically 7 thumb width high, because his wellies in the water. Of course, if you really struggle, you could just have the tide a lot higher. Do you know? Before I paint, because I'm gonna give some. I'm gonna give you. I'll give you till 10 past to draw it out. But I obviously that will eat into our hour and a half lesson. But I was actually on the coast on Sunday because it was 5 years since we lost Mum. So my brother, sister, brother-in-law, and myself always go to her favourite beach in Wales, Cymru am Byth, and we. It was so warm, the sea. It was very much like this, where there was a sandbank, and we stayed in the shallower bits, which was still nearly thigh high. Oh, wow. Blue skies everywhere in Brum is the Bob. I haven't seen a patch of blue all morning. The water was so warm for paddling, it was like being in the bath. It was amazing. Crabs galore, obviously jellyfish, but also never seen hermit crabs in my life, and there were loads of tiny little ones, but just absolutely wonderful. We spent about an hour and a half just walking through the beach, looking at crabs and stuff. Oh, you're in acrylics, right? Good question. If you're using acrylics in a watercolour style, which you can, make sure you dilute your acrylics first. Because what will happen is, if you've got a bit of... hello, Samantha. Oh, it's a pleasure. If you've got a bit of undiluted lumpy acrylic and you're using it as a watercolour, it will streak and you won't be able to shift it once it gets on paper. If it's diluted, you can treat it like a watercolour, but if it's not, then it's a little bit trickier. So also, Katya, also you might need some white. I might use a gel pen for small areas of white here, but we'll see how we get on. It was amazing. To be honest, Sue, the amount of people I saw on the beach, we've been going to that stretch. I thought it was 35 years, but I'm actually older than I thought. And it's more like about 38 years. We've been going there every year since I was very, very, very tiny, obviously. And I've never seen so many people right along the coast line, along the beach, shoulder to shoulder. People in bikinis. You never see people adults in bikinis in Wales, and all of the. Honestly, it was like Benidorm, but in Barmouth. Right, I'm gonna start painting now. As always, don't forget watercolours dry 30% lighter, so you have to allow for that. But also they are transparent, and that means you have to work from light to dark. Otherwise you're going to come unstuck a tad. But it's so lovely to have so many. 45 of you. Wow, 49 of you. Gosh, I feel like a celebrity. The Bob Ross of Banbury. Oh dear, if only I was like Bob Ross. I just love that man. Right, I'm going to go with my number 4 round. I'm using my Barry trio of brushes. We need to reorder some more because we've nearly sold out of those. 50 of you, wonderful. Do you remember in the old days of the when we were all stuck in and there was like 120, 140 of you? The hardcore ones remain. Dedication, that's what I like. Right, I'm going to go with my number 4 round and my cadmium yellow. These are just the Cotman watercolours from the tube. Sue, can I ever do a watercolour class without saying that? Right, let's paint the yellow bit of him first. Now I've gone very heavy with my pencil lines so it would photograph well. It's lovely to have so many of you watching, I really do. It might just sound like I'm giving you the old flannel, but I'm always astounded that so many of you can actually be bothered to not only join in and watch the screen, but to actually participate, comment. It really is. It makes my heart glad. You know, back when I was a teenager last week. Hello, Naomi. I really used to think, oh, one day I'm going to be able to reach loads of people just like Bob Ross and teach them all how to paint and draw. Well, it's taken me decades and a global pandemic, but I'm sort of there. Christine, please. Thanks. It's looking a bit green on my screen. Let me see if I can tweak the camera image a little bit. I need to make it more orange, don't I? Hang on a minute. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm having to learn how to click a lot of buttons, you see. But I think I need to warm it up a bit. That's better. Let's try that. Now I've got the window open in the classroom, and obviously the cafe's open, and tattoo studio's open. So if you hear noise, it's just people. Oh, Leslie, babysitting duties. Christine, I'll try. But if you're lucky and I'm lucky, I might actually get a customer. And that'll take me off painting for a couple of minutes, won't it, while I go downstairs and serve. The classroom is nowhere near the shop, you see, so I have to go down a flight of stairs and then about 50-60 feet. But there we go. I think that's enough for the cadmium yellow. Like that. I know. Well, I've just ramped up the orange. Whether it I don't know what it'll look like. Sometimes the because I use a broadcasting software. Sometimes it doesn't like colour, believe it or not. It's called a visualizer camera. It's an angle poise camera used by educators, because that's what I am. And sometimes you have to mess about with the colour. And when we're in the classroom, obviously it's also linked to a big projector on a massive smartboard on behind me, so all the students can actually see what's going on. And sometimes that colour isn't right either. Oh, Jilly. Hello, Libby. Jilly. You're all so lovely, aren't you? Oh, I'm such a lucky man. $56 of you now. 56 gluttons for punishment. Right. I'm not doing any shadow on that yet because I'll create a shadow colour later. Oh, my paints that I'm starting making are going to be delayed because there are several pigments I'm out of stock of that I can't get in just yet. So I was hoping to launch them the end of this month. But it's just gonna be a little bit longer, but that's fine, because we're going to be making our own watercolors and mixes. as well, which includes shadow colour. Right, let me move that one out. Will I move that out of the way? No, not yet. I'm going to do some water now, a bit of sea, and I'm going to use my phthalo blue, sometimes known as intense blue. You could use cerulean blue if you're feeling slightly less daring. Cerulean blue is not a staining colour, so it will lift off. Phthalo blue, sadly, even in Cotman, is still really good quality. And you, don't worry, Christine, I'm going to be waffling. You got me till 12:30, so there's going to be plenty of waffle and plenty of chance to... Got more waffle than bird's eye, me. Plenty of chance to catch up. So phthalo blue is a staining colour, so some people don't like it because it stains. I kind of like it because it's so vibrant. So I've got my phthalo blue, purple phthalo, and a little bit of yellow ochre. And that will give us a beautiful bluey teal sea colour. You don't need much yellow ochre. Ooh, 59 of you. Look at that beautiful sea colour. It wasn't like that. Well, actually, do you know what? It was like that in Barmouth. Waffly versatile. Yes, maybe I need that as a tagline. Do you know, I record these and then I put them on YouTube and then put them on our website because it's a free resource for people. And if it's you, I apologise. But somebody said I waffle too much. Now, they don't realise that I've had to expand my waffling repertoire for a lot of you who absolutely love the waffle. I never used to waffle this much back in my early days. I used to just get on and paint, and then I started to realise that most of you don't really care about the painting. You just like to have a chat. So that's where the waffle comes in. Hello, Sandy. Bonjour, ça va? That's as far as it goes, as you know. If I was Jackie, which I'm not, because I'm a bloke, I would actually be able to have a fluent conversation with you in French. However, I'm good at Black Country English. Well, you know, what's good about this is it's World Watercolour Month in July. So it's nice to be able to do a watercolour. Cause sometimes I plan these things, and sometimes I make it look like I plan these things without actually planning these things. So I'm doing sort of semi-dry brush here. Ooh. Sue, you and everybody else. Oh, thank you for the stars. So, Christine, it's phthalo blue or cerulean blue and a little bit of yellow ochre. And just shoving. You get used to my terminology. Did you? I think during one of the lockdowns I did a little glossary of my terms of Barry speak. Thank you, Sharon. That's what I found. Especially since lockdown, a lot of people have found... sometimes, for some of people, I'm actually the only other voice that they hear or they've heard during lockdown. That's why so many people just couldn't wait to get out after listening that I'm the only person that they've had a conversation with. I feel sorry for them. But, you know, isn't that a beautiful sea colour? And I'm going to do the same with my bottom. The bottom. Not my bottom. I don't want a blue bum. You know, art is so therapeutic and relaxing. What you don't want... And it's, you know, it's taken me such a long time. I've been teaching now for over 25 years. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. I love everybody's comments too. I've been teaching for 25 years, and I started off in primary education. And I was very young, very naive, and very strict. I mean, we did have a bit of fun, but it's taken me decades to realise that fun is just as important as learning. In fact, you learn more through play. My ex-wife is early years specialist, and obviously that's a lot about play, and I think it's crucial. So I now have made it my mission to do this for you guys. Make it more fun. I've got to mix some more. I won't get it right, will I? Because will it be either more ochre or more blue? But I'm glad you enjoy the waffle anyway, everyone. Oh, I've got unusually I am going to, it's a very advanced notice, but I'm going to have to close my shop for one day. It's not until August. It's Saturday the 28th of August. But I'm not going to be here. The shop will be closed because I've got to, I'm singing because that's my other, as if I have in my spare time. I was booked to perform at a wedding in South Oxfordshire last June, and obviously with the pandemic everything got cancelled. Then it was rescheduled to last winter, and again didn't go ahead. And now it's looking more than likely that it's going ahead on the 28th of August, and it's midday. I'll be singing to everyone as they come from the church to the reception. They've requested a lot of Dean Martin songs, so I'll be right up my street there. Oh, Roger, thank you very much. It's so nice of you all, it really is. So yeah, I did toy with the idea of should I pay someone to be in the shop, but it kind of makes no sense for me to be earning money elsewhere and then potentially, because Saturdays are very quiet. Thank you, Jilly, thank you. So yeah, Saturday 28th of August, shop shut. While I've got my tuxedo on and belting out some Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra songs. It's a lovely couple. I don't know them. I only know them through social media. But she's a nurse. So I definitely don't want to let her down after how hard they've worked this year. So I'm using the same colour again over the darker, over the same colour, and it will go darker. But it will still be 30% lighter. Haha. Oh, don't forget I've got a competition on as well. I don't know if you saw that on the page this morning. To win a signed copy of my new colour mixing book and a signed copy of my original Simple Start book, which is a whole drawing and painting manual. I might even personalise it. Who knows? I don't. So we're doing a bit of streaking now. A bit of streaking. We're already 25 minutes in. You're lucky I don't sing for you lot as well. Occasionally people get me in the street when I'm performing. So this is not quite dry brush. Ha. Call it the streak. Keep your brush strokes sort of horizontal because it's the sea. Everything's going to be more horizontal. Oh yeah, this is straight lines, Christine. Straightish lines. This is a number 4 round, and then there's my number 2 squirrel, and then a number 1 detail brush. And they are available on Shop Appy, and they're on offer if you buy the 3. Don't ask me how much they are because I can't remember. I'll just take your money. Jackie knows about the price. I don't know. It's about 27 quid, something like that for the 3, which is good because the oh, what shall I sing? Oh, don't make me sing. All right then. What should I do? I'll do a Dean Martin one. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody falls in love somehow. Something in your kiss just told me my sometime is now. How about that? I've got to learn. I figured if I tried to learn how to paint and sing, that could make me special. Oh, I didn't see the comment about something beach related. I can't think. There was the summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song as we strolled that golden sand, beach related, 2 sweethearts and the summer wind. Oh, I've been called special a lot. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Kathy. Sue, I know I can read the sarcasm. I've known you for so many years now. Right. Slightly darker. Now, if you notice, I've missed off a lot of the wave area. But look at the photograph. And the sand is churned up. So it's more ochre-y than it is bluey. So we'll do that. I'm going to leave that dry for a minute because I'm probably rushing ahead. Oh, you're all so nice. Britain's Got Talent. I don't know if my style is that kind of what they want there. I'm getting a bit old for that kind of thing. They want young blood, not middle-aged artists. I'm fortunate to get a few gigs, mainly care homes where they can't hear. No, I love going to the care homes. It's wonderful. You know, I was so lucky. I sang a few years ago at a dementia specialist care home, and I found it quite emotional actually to see how they responded to music that they grew up listening to. I know, Elizabeth. It's amazing how it's become quite trendy. Obviously, I've been a Frank Sinatra and Rat Pack fan since I was a child. My mum, though, she was more Elvis and heavy metal. And my dad was into Dickie Valentine. He did like Foster and Allen, but we'll forgive him for that. They can't get away in their care homes. No, we make sure they lock the doors so nobody can leave once I'm in there. Do you know, I've never really sung and painted at the same time. I'm going to have to learn. I might get a career. Oh, am I not? Oh, Julie, I'm not middle-aged yet. That's good. But doesn't that mean I've got to live till I'm 100? I don't think I will. But it'd be nice if I did. Right, I'm going to go with more ochre then. And a little bit of burnt sienna. And a little bit of Blackpool rock. Bit green. Oh, drop me brush. Now we're doing the streaks. Punk or the Wombles. Well, you know, I do like a bit of AC/DC and Iron Maiden. It breaks up the Rat Pack singing. So we're going a little bit dry brush with this because it's slightly more green. I think I ought to make it a bit more ochre-y actually. That's better. I hadn't got enough ochre in, I'd got too much blue. When I'm feeling blue, all I have to do is paint some sea. We're going to do some shadow and whatnot, but I think it's important to just plate some colours. 59 of you, it's lovely to have you here. Thank you so much for your company this morning. Welcome to, oh, there's an hour left. I've got to entertain you for another hour, for goodness sake. Got to remember this isn't a demo and I don't want to I'm very good at earworms. It's funny, in our classes, and I can't do it now. Now we're online as well, because of royalties. But we used to be able to play songs of if it was the anniversary of a singer's death, or if somebody died, we would play their music in class. Oh no, I'm not wonderfully operatic. I do a few Howard Keels, and I love his singing, but because I'm more of a bass baritone, I don't do much operatic. I like a bit of Bryn Terfel. So yeah, one time when Val Doonican died, I just played an hour of Val Doonican songs like Delaney's Donkey and O'Rafferty's Motor Car. And sadly, when Victoria Wood passed away, huge loss, I played loads of Victoria Wood songs, including the Ballad of Freda and Barry, which you'll know as Can't Do It, Can't Do It. You know as well as I do that the pipes won't lag in. So we try to make art as enjoyable as possible. Putting a bit of this green in the sea now. I don't want it to look like we've been taken over by the ponds. Sue, what a wonderful question. You're asking all the lovely questions today. Hello, Valerie. Don't worry, you can watch it back as many times as you need to. It will be on the videos section on this page, but also it will be on our YouTube channel, The Artery Online, and also on our website. We've got a free section of our website called Free Something, and if I've got a quiet few minutes after the lesson, I will upload it onto that. So there'll be plenty of ways you can watch this back, because not everything sinks in, does it, straight away? Even when you're doing it with me, sometimes you think, oh, what was that bit? No, quite right with the Woman's Weekly. She was such a talent, wasn't she, Victoria Wood? Absolutely amazing woman. Dinner Ladies, I think, and Acorn Antiques were just wonderful. So I'm just streaking in a bit of me green now. I'm making it more of a British sea. But I like musicals, so generally there might be Some Enchanted Evening, or The Howard Keel's versions of several songs in the Man of La Mancha, wonderful. And I'm trying to think of a few that he sang. Oh, Oklahoma. They're quite effective, aren't they? And it is just wiggles. I might use a bit of white gel pen or white gouache over the top of some of these. But basically all done with mainly yellow ochre and phthalo blue. You want to keep it simple. It's difficult. I won't be doing it myself. If you want to make it go darker, add a little bit of burnt sienna and your what was that, Christine? Was that purple? The shadow glaze. Yeah, I'm going to be using that for his coat. But you can stick some of that in your sea. Shove some of that in your sea, Christine. Ah, well, Elizabeth, the Artery wasn't the original name for my business. I wanted to be called the Artisan. But there was another business 3 towns away calling, I think it was a Picture Framers, and we thought it would be a bit too confusing. So we did Artery because we're in the heart of the old town in Banbury. Music, art is in our blood, and we want to be the main life force for art education. So Artery. Also, I kind of like artery, eatery, like medieval terminology where it's very simple. You just put an "ery" at the end of whatever business it was. Lavatory, you know, that kind of thing. Just doing a few more darker streaks, a little. Do you know what I have missed out, and I shouldn't have, and I'm very naughty, and I'm going to hope I can glaze over. Yeah, it'll be shadow colour. Yeah, use some of that. I'm just going to use some cadmium yellow in my sea. There's a hint in a few lines as reflection. It will go a bit green, but that's alright, isn't it? We went through a lot of names to try and find the best thing to call us for the shop. I'm going to stop for a sec. See how we get on. I might, in fact, use some of this sea colour slightly more dilute where it meets the sandbank. So I'm really looking forward to fly agaric mushrooms, toadstools, because I love them. Because it goes with all my obsession with gnomes. Well, no, you can't live without an artery. It's very true, Sue. So let that dry for a sec. It's looking a bit like a picture, isn't it? Oh, I must show you a painting. It's already sold, but I did it on Thursday morning as one of our Art for the Anxious classes, and all it was is white gouache. What it was white gouache on black card. That's all. and it was painted in negative painting. So whatever's black, we just left as black cards. So all the paints and the lines are all just left black. So that's just black card and white gouache. Really enjoyed painting that. So that's a £5 lesson that you can get on the Thursday morning Art for the Anxious class. It was lovely, wasn't it, Leslie? It's amazing to see it just appear once you start building up the shades. This has got to dry, so that's fine. Thanks, Sue. But you know, here we like to chat about everything and anything arty, don't we? So, yeah. I posted a thing yesterday on the shops, a post on the shop's social media about a Margaret Keane painting. Now, a few of my art history students, I don't know if any of you are here, on my Women Artists course, I did about Margaret Keane, because there was the film in 2004, Tim Burton did a film about her life called Big Eyes, and all of her paintings have big eyes. But in the 60s, there was a big scandal and court case surrounding Margaret Keane because her husband used to pretend that he was the artist, because she didn't sign her work, Margaret Keane, it was just Keane. And he pretended he was the artist, and he was making her work and work and work, and she hardly ever saw any daylight. She was just a slave for her paintings. And then she brought it out once and mentioned that it was her work, and there was a big court case, and obviously her husband lost because the challenge was to sit in court and create a painting. He refused, but she sat and did the painting, so it was clear it was her work. But absolutely fascinating. I mean, some of her work's a little bit creepy. I might have to nip downstairs. I'm not sure. Oh, we've got the man with his guitar singing "Whole World in His Hands." So it's Margaret Keane, Keane. You can probably hear him. Can you hear him singing with his guitar? Right, I'm just going to quickly nip down for 1 sec. I'm back. It was part. I'm sure I did it as part of my women's artists course. I think it was my second artists course, but it would have been an evening one back then, I think. I don't know about you, but I think he's got the whole world in his hands. Right, that needs to dry. I am actually going to rub out my pencil lines if I can. Sometimes when you've got paint on there, it won't always let you rub it off. So that's got to dry for a minute. We've got 45 minutes left, so that's really cool. I keep getting severe weather alerts popping up for thunderstorms here. I was tracking on lightningmaps.org, a wonderful weather site that does real-time lightning strikes anywhere across the world. And there was an amazing, huge thunderstorm across the channel last night, slowly creeping up towards the English coast, but it dissipated by the time I'd woken up. I thought we were due a big storm, but we kind of miss a lot of the bad weather here because we're smack bang in the middle. Oh, it's good, isn't it, Christine? Lightningmaps.org. I can spend hours just watching lightning strikes. Maybe I should get a knife. Right, I'm going to go with a bit of cad yellow, a little bit of burnt sienna, quite a bit of water. Thank you, Katya. They're very effective, but they're very nothingy, if you know what I mean. And I'm going to paint a net. She never asked either. Right. That bit. And his heel. There. It is. It looked very foreboding, but I don't think anything's going to come from it. It will all come together once the shading's on. Obviously, we've got this big white stretch here that we'll need to change. It's not something I think if I was at home doing my washing, I don't think I'd put it out on the line today, that's for sure. I can't anyway where I live. I haven't got a big I've only got a tiny yard. I've got a washing line. However, I've been feeding the birds a lot this summer. Tuppence a bag. And I can't dare put anything out because I'd have to end up washing it again. Do you know what? So it wouldn't ruin the composition at all if you put red wellies rather than green. And the reason why I say that is because cadmium red is going to be part of the shadow colour. If we introduced a colour, and it might be part of the beach, and it's going to be part of the flesh tone. So basically, as long as you're using the colours within your colour palette. Oh, that's it, Samantha. Rub it in. It's lovely in Keswick. Well, I'm pleased for you. I'm glad it's still nice somewhere. So, as long as we're not introducing a new colour, then you're fine. So if suddenly you think, oh, I want Viridian green wellies, it won't work. Or I want crimson wellies, won't work. Or, you know, that kind of thing. Stick within your colour palette and you can do whatever you want. Because you'll create harmony. It's all about harmony. Red would stand out a lot. I'd probably be tempted to. If I were to change the wellies to a red, I'd add a small drop of the phthalo blue or cerulean blue just to dull it down a fraction so it's not the red of our banner at the bottom there, you know. That's what I'd do. But it wouldn't ruin the composition at all, no. In answer to your question, no. Right, I'm going to do his flesh next. There's not a lot of it. he's been sensible. Bit of cadmium red, smidge of burnt sienna. That'll do. Got a bit of leg there, little bit of leg there, and some sort of hand there. Can't really see any ears. That's how posh people say yes, by the way. Ears. Oh, ears. 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 And then when I remember, because I'm a council house kid, and I grew up teaching in a really lovely school in the middle of the Black Country, and obviously everybody's very, very broadly spoken. And I remember teaching the kids how to speak posh. And what was it I said? So, what do we breathe? Air. What do we have on our heads? Hair. And where does a dragon live? In a lair. Put those three words together. Hello. 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 So it's hard to say hello in Welsh. Not in Welsh. In posh. And then if you say ears all the time, ears. Because you can tell I'm not posh. Right. I can say hello in Welsh as well, but I haven't got anybody from... Have I got anybody from Wales watching today? I'm going to do a wash of yellow ochre for his hair. Are you all saying hello a lot now? Hello. Good flesh colour, that. Tiny bit of cadmium red, bit of burnt sienna, a lot of water. Really good flesh tone. We're building it up now, aren't we? Oh, it's got an angry face. Who's angry with me? Are you angry? That yellow ochre hair at the moment looks like... Oh, you're saying he is? Bore da ydych chi? I've got another angry face. Who keeps putting angry faces? Don't be angry. If I was painting this on my own, how long would it take me to complete this picture? Good question, Kathy. It would probably... Thank you for the love. Thank you for the heart. That's better. This size A4 on my own with a hairdryer, I'd probably do it in about an hour. Don't worry, Jet. I think it is somebody's finger slipping, Marie. I think it is. I've done it before now on a post. Do you know? Because I scroll on my phone, and somebody had posted some really sad news. Somebody had posted some really sad news, and I wanted to put the crying emoji, and I ended up putting the laughing emoji. I've never panicked so much in my life because I didn't want them to think that I was being mean. So I ended up having to like fumble through and quickly trying to change my emoji to a sad emoji because I didn't want it to look like I was callous. Oh, what's that? With the fur with the fur Are they? No. Skudda? With the fur No. Not me. Jackie's Christine, what? What you OMGing at? I know, terrible. I did correct the mistake. Hopefully, before it was seen, it would have just said that Barry had responded to your post. I had to change it. I couldn't believe it. It was terrible. Anyway. Right, we'll do the sand next, I think. Yes. Now, the sand is slightly more complicated than you think. My mother-in-law was Scouse. She's such a lovely lady. She had quite a soft Scouse accent. Morning Dee. Loved her to bits, I did. Sadly, lost her about 8 years ago now. Lovely lady. She was the head of a school up in Cheshire. Oh, you know, it happens a lot, doesn't it? You linger your finger, or you scroll. I've also done it while I was stalking somebody on Facebook or Instagram. I think I ended up accidentally liking a post from ages ago that I didn't really want them to know I was looking. I was just like checking out the competition on something, I think, and I liked a post, and then even if you unlike it, it doesn't matter because they still get the notification that you've liked it. Never mind. Right. Let's go with some yellow ochre. Tiny bit of cadmium red. So you're not on your own. I'm very adept at making errors. So we've gone for slightly orange. We're borderline my hair colour at the moment. A little bit of burnt sienna. And a tiny bit of ultramarine. Oh no, Sue, really? Oh wow, that's what I'm always paranoid of. Friend requesting somebody you were stalking. Oh gosh. I've dreaded that moment, to be honest. I think I need to go with a bit more blue. Did they accept? Blimey. Right, so I'm using my squirrel for this. Right, this is layer 1. Careful around his clothes. I need to get covered in sand. There's a painting by Claude Monet called Beach at Trouville. Jackie will tell me off because she's good at French as well. She's a Geordie. We take the mick out of each other's accents a lot. I'm always going, oh no, there's a hole in my polo. And she used to do a wonderful impression of my mum. She'll kill me for saying that. But she did. I don't want any hard edges, but we're going to do some dry brush layering. You see, that beach is too soft a colour, you know? It's not great. So we need to go darker, like I say to all my drawing students. I love accents, you know, and you know, what I love now is how you can have newsreaders with accents, and it's not that long ago, if you remember, that everybody had to speak properly BBC English on the TV. So it's so nice and homely, I think. Tons and tons of me mum's blums. I once heard a vicar and he was talking about a Bible scripture, and he went, let's take a look at the book of Luke. Sharon, you may ask, why did I not do the beach before the figure? Because cadmium yellow is a cleaner colour than my beach colour, so technically it's lighter. And if I'd done the beach first, there's every chance I would have gone over where my figure is. And then I wouldn't have had such a clean yellow, you know. Accents are amazing. I love it. I hope that answers your question though, Sharon. Because we're going to go a lot darker with this. It just means you're going to be careful. If I was probably doing this in real life for myself, I'd more than likely put a little bit of masking fluid over it. But I'm going to do some dry brushing and all that jazz. I'm not going to rouge my knees though. Alright, let's pop that down, let it dry for a minute. We're going to do some dry brushing textures. I'm not spattering today. I might have to get the hairdryer out because of time, but I think we might be alright. But I am going to get the hairdryer out because I'm getting cauliflowers on this. Carl. Oh, you see, a long time ago, I used to, my nephews and nieces are all grown up. They've got kids of their own now. Obviously, I'm the very young person of the family. And I used to do lots of impressions to entertain my nephews and nieces. And I used to do either Mrs. Doubtfire or Billy Connolly. They were the only two Scottish ones that I used to do. But they're kind of out of fashion now, aren't they? So let's go. Oh, Valerie, my squirrel brush. It's a passionate affair. You've got to keep it wet, and you get a good point. Oh no, Samantha, you can do masking fluid over. It's dodgy territory, so practice first. As long as the undercolour is totally dry and you use a very thin film of masking fluid, you can cover up just the edges in masking fluid. You wouldn't need to do the whole lot because the edge would... You want to be careful still. And then you can rub off the masking fluid and it shouldn't really affect the undercolour. Hopefully, but occasionally it can tear it off. But you've got to let things dry. So I'm going with burnt sienna, ultramarine, and yellow ochre now. Maybe a bit of cadmium red. So I'm going quite dark. Look at that for a colour. Let me move it across a little bit. Let's go a little bit more red. Now you can see that's very similar to the colour, weirdly, of the beach. I have to admit, I do get very bored with dry brush. I see a lot of influencers. So this is the same colours as the beach, but just more of it. So burnt sienna, there's a bit of more ultramarine in this. And cadmium red and yellow ochre. Now you don't have to do much dry brush. You can be a bit more sloppy with it. If we've got time, I'll spatter, but I'm not sure we'll have time. Yes, that will work. You do have to be careful if you're using nylon though with the boiling water, because sometimes it will destroy your bristles and melt them. So yeah, fine for natural hair. You see, there's a lot of influencers about online, and that's good. I don't know if I'm an influencer. I don't think I am, but there is also equally a lot of misinformation out there in the art world, because a lot of these influencers just get sent supplies in order to plug them. So they don't actually know how to use them themselves. And it's a little bit of a problem sometimes, because it's more of a product review rather than a this is how I've painted for the last 30 years. So do be aware when you're watching the old YouTube with influencers, check they are actually of a decent caliber of artist first, just to make sure, because you don't want to be misinformed. We all want to have fun and enjoy art. But a lot of people tend to only know what they know with the few supplies that they use. I'm never sent anything free. So there's very little chance of me doing sponsored ads. This is a big old beach. Right, now I'm going to get some bits of scrap paper. And what I want to do is a little bit of spattering. I can't, Dee, if you're watching, get excited, because I know you love a good spatter. Mix up a little bit more. Now, the aim for this is to not cover everything that you want not covered. Well, yeah, you see, once you realise that they're sponsored by companies, it makes life a little bit... Oh, bless you. Thank you, Elizabeth. I so know you're going to be doing this though, Dee. No, you cannot. Well, yes, this is the thing. It does. It can. It can get a little bit messy, can't it? But that's what part of the fun is. I've still got, I did a paint like Pollock class once, and I've still got, honestly it looks like my part of my table's been decorated by Mr. Tumble. There's just like red, yellow, blue, green, white spots everywhere. Just going to get the hairdryer on this because of time. Okay, I use a toothbrush from somebody I don't like. No, my ex-wife's toothbrush. No, it's we're still mates, by the way. I joke, but we are friends. It's just an old toothbrush. Yeah, so when you do it, you stroke your thumb upwards to spatter downwards. So you hold your brush up and then stroke your thumb up the bristles to spatter. Don't do it the other way because you're going to get covered. Trust me on that. Please trust me. Right, for me wellies, I'm going to go with cadmium yellow and phthalo blue because I'm going for a green. I want an unnatural green, really. Well, I don't want a green that we've already used, so I'm going with this one. The light's sort of coming from the left in this picture, isn't it? Yes, it is. I've answered my own question there. So this is cadmium yellow and cerulean. Toothbrush. It is, it's a toothbrush. Please don't use an electric toothbrush, Sue. Jet, where are you from? You've got to be further north than the Watford Gap for a toothbrush. Because I've had to try and adapt my lingo and call it a toothbrush. Because people kept taking the mick out of me when I used to call it a tooth. You're doing Redwood. Ah, Walsall. Boston. The other side of the Black Country from where I'm from, but brilliant. Right, anyway, any road up. I'm going to make some here now. I'm going to make it out of a bit of blue and brown. So ultramarine and burnt sienna will give me a nice dark brown colour. And I'm just going to flick it slightly darker, don't forget. The light's going from the left, so it's going to be slightly darker on the right hand side. Walsall. It's the tooth fairy. You lengthen your vowels in the Black Country. It's a tooth fairy. If you're lucky, you might get 50 pence. Bit more blue to make it slightly darker on the right. Well, we're getting there, aren't we? We're actually like almost doing a painting. Now for the wellies, I'm using my thin brush and I'm going to lift out highlights. Oh, that's the first highlight of my day then. God. Have I lost all of you? A big tooth. Oh, it was. Elizabeth. Funny. So all I'm doing to lift out is I'm dampening the area. Cleaning my brush. And going back. Don't get me to break into Black Country. People won't understand this if they're watching from other areas of the world. Slightly more. Look at that. We've got highlights. Kathy, thank you. Oh, you'll make me embarrassed. You won't. I've forgotten his hand. Oh, what a wally. Look at that. I've forgotten his hand there. His hand's there, but it'll be in shadow. It'll be fine. Right. So, I want to do the net. Then I want to do his blue stripes and his trousers. His trousers. And then the shadow colours. And we've got 15 minutes. Can I do it in 15 minutes? Watch this space and find out. So I'm going with some ultramarine with my cadmium yellow to make a very dark sludgy green. Oh, Sylvia, the Pearlfishers duet. Oh, it gives me goosebumps. Which is my favourite version? Bryn Terfel and then Andrea Bocelli. Yeah. It's so beautiful. I'd have to learn a foreign language, wouldn't I? Because it's not in Black Country. But beautiful, beautiful. So I'm using my thin brush. I'm doing some dark dangly bits. For now. I'll tell you what I also love. Have you heard, Sylvia? Can you? Oh, that'd be lovely, Margaret. Do share with us in the comments. Once this video ends, your comments section opens up that you can add photographs and images. So we'd love to see. We really do love seeing what you've created. Elgar, you know, Nimrod. Russell Watson wrote some words for that called "We Will Stand Together." It's so beautiful and empowering. I had a lovely experience because I listen to Classic FM a lot in the car because I'm cultured, you know. Yogurt's got more culture than me. But anyway, I was just visiting my mum. My mum was in the hospice at the time, and I was driving back late one evening, and I'd got Classic FM on, and Nimrod came on, and just as I approached the brow of a hill on the motorway, with the sunset behind me, looking over the beautiful rolling hills of the Oxfordshire-Warwickshire border countryside, the big stirring part of Nimrod came on. Oh, Pearlfishers duet is just beautiful. The Bryn Terfel and Andrea Bocelli, just stunning. I'm going to throw in a little bit of phthalo blue for this, and I'm going to try and just do a sort of crosshatch, a very loose crosshatch, very fast and loose. Claire, no, I have. It's a recording of birdsong. I have it on every lesson to help soothe your soul and mind. So no, it is a recording. It's on loop throughout the lessons. Right, we're getting there. We're close. Ultramarine. I've got my ultramarine burnt sienna mix there. If I go with more ultramarine to make a really just a nice steely dark blue, a bit more ultramarine in that, I think. I can do his stripy top. Stripy. He's got 3 stripes. Oh yeah, oh there we are. And then we've got shadow. That'll do, I think, for that bit. Oh, lovely. Thank you. That's very nice. I've just been bought a cup of tea. How lovely. Well, this is it. This is what the bird song is for. It's just to calm you and relax you. I'm going to switch to number 4 round, I think. Use the same blue with a little bit more water on it for his trousers. Do my light colour first. And let that dry. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember what it is. I think this is from the RSPB. But if you have smartphones, you may have. There is an RSPB bird app that plays birdsong. And also on, if you have TuneIn Radio app, there are birdsong radio stations that just play birdsong. Yes, you're true actually, Sue. On the few occasions that I am quiet, thought I'd get that in before you. On the few occasions that I am quiet, or if I'm having to serve a customer and my hands aren't moving across the screen, then it is a good way. If you can hear the bird song, you know the screen hasn't frozen. If I'm not present in whatever form I'm not present in. They look all right, don't they? Did you think it'd just be too green, Sue? Which is why you thought about the red. Because if you think about it, you've got the green in the sea and the green here. So we've got this sort of follow through of leading that brings us around this sort of triangular composition. So you could do a red net, possibly. Right, I'm going to mix a purple colour now. Or I'll just shove it in here instead. I've got all colours going on, but we ain't got time for me to faff about. Ultramarine and cadmium red. Best shadow colour. Oh, you see, it's because I changed the green. I made it a bit more of a brighter green. So we've got cad yellow in the wellies and the coat. So this is my cadmium red and ultramarine shadow colour. Everybody, hello shadow colour. I'm going to go with my thin brush. And he's got a hand there. That's in shadow. His body's cast a shadow on that side of the rod. Although actually the shadow is on the left hand side of this pole. So I don't know now. Well, maybe you could win it if you went to the competition today, Sue. So this is where a lot of outlining occurs now. Thank you, Janet. Gosh, you all say the right things. This shadow colour is a really useful colour because you can either make it more red or more blue, depending on what you're working on. But because cadmium red is an orange red and ultramarine is a purple blue, you basically got orange, purple, red and blue in your shadow colour. And that means that it kind of goes with everything. If you wanted to make a wintry, cold shadow colour, cheeky, struggling with the answer. If you wanted to make a cold, wintry colour, you use cadmium red and cerulean. And it makes a lovely... It's quite counterintuitive because cadmium red is a bright red and cerulean is a bright blue. But actually, when you mix the two together, you get quite a dull purple grey. So hopefully you'll notice that once this shadow goes on, and I've got some lighter areas, darker areas. By making it lighter, I'm just adding more water. Darker, more paint. If you wanted to make it more orange, then do so, just add some more red in there. But I just find it as a bit easier to remember the purple. Let's outline him a little bit there as well. I'm not against outlining at all. I will use some white gel pen so you can see the sort of things that can be achieved with that as well. So I'm looking at the triangular shapes caused by the movement of his trousers as he's, well, they're rolled up and he's walking. This is the bit where you hold your breath. Shadows make a huge difference, Janet, and they're always the bit that people don't put in because they're very uncertain and don't know how. But adding it makes a totally different picture. It makes things solid. It makes things movable. Can use some of this shadow colour because there's a little bit of shadow in the water where he is, and that will add him into the place. Something is a little that it is a bugbear with me, and you'll hear me mention this often, that shadow and reflection are not the same. You can have one without the other, or you can have both, but they're not necessarily the same direction. Shadow will always be in the direction of the opposite of the sunlight. The reflection is always a mirror image. So let's say there was a really strong light coming from the right here. The reflection of the boy will always be a mirror image, but the shadow on the water of the boy will be going across to the right hand side. And that's really, really important to remember, because I see a lot of people, and if you've done this, don't feel bad, because if you don't know, you don't know. I see a lot of people talking about shadows in the water, but they mean reflections. So they are very, very different. Oh, thank you. Oh, from India, thank you. I think the shadows just bring things forward, don't they? Not the band, obviously. Hank Marvin might do. I've not heard from him for a bit. Yes. Yes. So actually, if you look through it, in between his wellies, Christine, you'll see that the shapes that I'm adding now is the shadow of the boy. But the reflection of the boy is the white coat. And you might see the shape of his legs and what have you in there as well. But shadow and reflection are two totally different things. And it's something that you don't necessarily notice unless you're really, really studying something. I'm just doing a bit more purple in my sea to tie it together for the white foam area. Unless you're really, really studying, you won't notice. The shadow colour is also really useful to unify, because you can bring things forward, push things back, and it harmonises your paintings. So if I've got my white gel pen, as long as this is dry, gotta be dry. I can just add a few white highlights. It's semi-opaque, so that means I can almost do an outline and tap it with my finger. Now, it's not for everybody. I do love a gel pen, but for me it just gives that extra depth, extra layer. And it saves, somebody was asking about masking fluid and stuff. It saves needing to do that by doing it this way. Ah, Janet, never mind. We can always send you one out. Free postage and packaging, mainland UK still. Whilst the whole world is still struggling for normality, or trying to find out what normality is, or what they want as normality, what you want as to be normal, we've not gone back to normal. We're still wearing masks in the shop. Although our classroom is reopened on half measures, when I'm teaching face to face, I'm still wearing a mask. And because we know not everybody is feeling very confident about going out yet, we're still providing free postage and packaging to mainland UK with no minimum order. So if you want to make an order, feel free and we'll sort you out. So you can see now that contrast between the gel pen and the shadow colour has really brought the figure out. And the spattering on the beach has settled down. I will take a photograph of this and I will post it both in the shop page and underneath this in the comments, because I can't post images. Diolch Marie, diolch. Glad you enjoyed it. So thank you so much. So all of that done with 3 brushes and a gel pen. And how many colours? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colours. So fairly limited palette there. So hopefully you've enjoyed this demonstration, this lesson. And if you have painted it or are going to paint it, do post it underneath this, underneath in the comments section when you've done it, because I really love seeing what everyone's done. Even if it's in a week's time, please still post it, because I love to see. I'll just let you know what's coming up for our next free online class. So the free demo on the 7th of August at 11 o'clock is painting human eyes in watercolour. 21st of August is a full-blown class, fly agaric toadstools in gouache. So those are the freebies. Now, we've got Summer Holiday Art Club starting on Monday. So Mondays at 4 till 5, it's 99 pence, online only, and we're doing sort of fun, arty, crafty things. It's thumbprint flowers in acrylics this Monday. And we've got loads of classes in real life and online coming up. We have no intention of stopping our online classes either. So even if you don't live locally, don't think you'll ever be missing out on the classes, because you can join us virtually as well. I've rejigged the classroom so I can stream online and in real life at the same time. So it's all good, because I so love being able to teach you. Oh, thank you everyone. Thank you Julie, thank you Emma, thank you Roger. Yes, do. Thank you Sue. Thank you Janet. Thank you Kathy. Thank you Samantha. Absolutely, it's still, things are still not normal. Thank you Emma. So I think it needs to be, we need to be flexible, and we'll be forever flexible, as long as we can afford to. So thank you so much for your company this morning. I look forward to seeing what you've done. The sun has come out now. Amazing. And as soon as this is ended, I will try and get it on YouTube as well. So thank you so much for your company. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Please stay safe and look after yourselves. If it's hot, get hydrated. Don't get in a thunderstorm and don't get heat stroke. Just look after yourselves. So I can see you all again soon. Bye bye everybody. Bye bye.